So we're back in the saddle of volatility. It's 2 minutes to 9 o'clock. Here comes all the robots that are designed to run at 9 o'clock. It's funny how the news comes out at 8:30. There's a classic kind of move in the market. You see the rinse and repeat cycle. So I'm running the 1 hour scripts, which is the 1 hour auction, 1 hour option expiration. It's like writing puts and calls, but without the risk. Because I'm saying that I bet you can't make it to this price by there, so it's a contest. Can they smash the price down, or do I have the patience to sit in a position waiting for it to play out? So I'm either going to get in on limits where I know there's supply and demand, the obvious scalp. If we go through support, we will extend and retrace into previous support. Tops become bottoms. The reason it happens is because the people that thought that was support, since they don't want their equity to be punished, they're going to get out there, or the robot's going to say, you're back to where there's no risk, get out. Now, right here, I'd buy at the market. So go down to my trusty buy at the markets. These are the goobers trading, right? We're going to do this. And I got, I'm risking $1.80. I'm risking $2. I'm risking $2.20. I'm risking $2.20. I'm not putting the spread in there. Now I'm risking $3.50. Now I'm risking $5. Now I just got into maybe a 10K there. And my targets are spelled out. I've also got a limit strategy running at the same time, or technique. These are logarithmic, martingale-ish. They're all single Ks, but they're 8 hours, and it's a bank sitting. And every time I drop that script, it's going to be here. Now, I'm going to post these as a link. You can do it what you want with them. There's quite a lot of leadway, let's say. Now, I got 3Ks here. Now, this is supposed to be approximately the dollar amount. You're risking $9 to make $12 because you're going to put in a 3K spread over a 20 pip window. This is the 20 pip grid. So if you wanted to set your first sell above here, because you know there are sellers above there, I don't care what anybody says. And even if there's not, I don't care, because if 8 hours goes by and we can't drive it up there, we will not get filled. So that is 3. Those are 3 tickets that are, oh, geez. Well, I guess the middle one. So the 20 pip window, it's 10 pips to the next handle. So 10 pips apart. There's 3 because you're boxing in the 20. So when I first did this, it was kind of disturbing because you have to reaffirm 0. You have to count 0. Like where your mouse drops is the first ticket. So if I'm going to buy down here in a 20 pip window, now this would last maybe 12 hours, because do I really want to sit there and worry about, like, I know this in 12 hours would be the ultimate buy window. And $9 would become $90 if you drop 10 of these in the exact same spot. Now, you don't want to do that, because you want to take advantage of the fact that you can canvas this whole area, let them stop you out of this, and then come in with even more risk 40 pips. You could start right at the round number. What is it going to matter, right? You know you're risking $12 to make $12, right? You're really risking 14 to make 10, depending on who your broker is. So this is the easiest way to think about it if you're afraid of selling high and buying low because you don't know if there's a reason to do it. The pendulum swing. So you're seeing in politics a pendulum swing. It reminds me of forex so much I can't even tell you, because this reminds me of, like, right here, this kind of supply, 20 pip window there. Your 15 pip scripts laid in a bank here would have paid off. That's going to outperform the Ryan bot. I did run the Ryan bot after I did that video. I thought, let me take another look. I got a faster computer, but in the end, when I ran this one little section of data because I kept doing a 15-minute chart. It does really good on the 15.5 hours because, and I also set the settings at 8 instead of 14 to push it. I wanted to trade like I trade, which is really hard. So I'm going to buy smart the market here. I'm really going to push it hard. So now, because I just waited 5 minutes to pull the trigger here, I'm building this long position for the scalp up into my sells. Now, this is the other psychological thing. It takes a while to get flexible if you can run all these scripts. Is you going to put sells up there now? Yeah, because you're going to go, okay, so you thought the Republicans were your friends. No, they were just trying to get you into the showering rooms. In fact, the guys dropping the pellets, they're in the union, right? So how many union people are running the concentration camps? But I think it's just like another example how wealthy people are, that they're worried about their, see the commissions I'm paying here. Look at this. I don't even know if this is a round trip. I think this is one way in. So the spreads are deceiving. I know it looks like a tight spread. It's under 1 pip. But this is the other, almost guaranteed there's no free lunch. So I feel like we're in the trap zone here. This is the time to buy, start building. We're under this floor. But everybody's already taken advantage of this one down here, right? This is so sad that you would try to run a moving average on here. I'm sure if you found the right moving average, and I watched this guy from Britain that's claiming that you'll never make money trading forex, don't even try. And then he shows this dumb shit exponential moving average crossover system with the 5, the 8, the 20. I'm sorry, 5, 8, 21, or was it literally 8, 13, 21? You could say whatever you want on that. And then he said he did say a money management tool, which is he took off half the position as first target. But this guy's literally getting in. I kid you not. He's saying count 5 bars back and then put a buy stop, or in his case, a sell stop, 3 pips below that bar. Are you kidding me? You're already paying a 3 pip spread. Now you want to get even 3 pips worse fill on a ticket that's so big that you can split it in half on the way down, which means it has to be at least a 2K. Just on its face, that is the dumbest in a market that's like, just people really need help seeing this volatility here. How brutal this was. If you thought you were going to get on the long train or the short train with a 10 pip stop, this is 1 hour chart. So you're constantly getting kicked out of this, and you're like, yeah, but the promised land is up here. My target is up here. There's a Fibonacci. There's a Gartley extension up here. There's a Gartley extension down here, and nobody's getting any type of relief. The bulls and the bears are both getting churned if they're running a 20, 15, 10 pip stop. Now, if you're running the 30 pip stop to make 20 pips, you're making money. Now, it's just totally against, but if you know that is your risk. So that's really good money, because think about when you go to buy a lottery ticket, what's your chances of winning? The probability of picking up 15 pips with a 30 pip stop is very high if you know where to put the order, right? So you're saying, yeah, I'll go for the runner's insurance that you're kicking my ass, but I know that I'll be drunk on the way home, and I just don't want to have to, talk about it. That's why people want to become famous, so they can just walk out of the bar like a pig and just, oh, just let my driver handle that. Don't you know who I am? I'm fucking like, it's so funny how the forex lifestyle is supposed to be this gangster thing. I guess whatever it takes, right? So I try to listen to ICT again, and it's so cute. He's doing all his videos. He's got the watermark across the thing. I'm like, dude, let go. Like, you should be killing it in these markets. Why would you even bother babysitting us poor his students? And then it's so cute because he's got the on his YouTube channel, it says the mentor's mentor, and I'm thinking, okay, you mean for like the Babylon Bee version of the mentor's mentor, where we look at it and go, You want to do what? Yeah, we want to just rig everything from here on out. So these people are stepping into office. You got to love it, don't you? I mean, they're stepping into office with the most draconian, blow your mind, farcical shit where that would be like Trump stepping in and go, yeah, you know what? I just signed 40 executive orders and I know what I signed. This guy doesn't even know. And so it's just, it's a machine without it's like a airplane that's on autopilot now. And whatever the last settings were, which were Trump's, and so I don't know. I think the volatility is going to dry up now because there was utter panic on both sides of this. And I see Bitcoin still on its churning mode. Look at the Bitcoin, and I'm using my trusty 34 period because that is a Fibonacci number, and it's also a linear weighted, which is more hugging the price. To me, this exponential thing, I never understood it. I thought it was choppy, looked like shit. But for some reason, the industry is like, well, exponential moving average. No, I don't want it. Actually, simple is even better than that. That's what the awesome oscillator by Bill Williams is built on, is the simple moving average. So I can't believe that I went and spent all this money and learned from these people. And it comes down to, back in that day, you were risking about, when you pull the trigger, and I didn't even know you could put a limit order in, it was like about $1,000. You had to risk $1,000 and make $3,000. Like, that was it. You couldn't be like, oh, penny stock, give me a few shares. No. In the commodity world. So I understand the ICT's kind of, he understands, oh yeah, I think if you've been bit by a dog, this is the Mark Douglas thing, it takes about 20 dogs to not feel afraid of dogs anymore. It really takes you a long time to settle into like, it's okay to this trade and that trade. So, it's, and then I see him talking about the Bitcoin and constantly protecting himself like a politician from, well, I said it was going to $100, but I did say that on Twitter and all these, but, and then he tries to be defensive. It's like, dude, we don't care if you're going to, anybody that calls Bitcoin going to 40 grand, and he admits he wasn't in that trade, and people are like, yeah. So if you predict the market, are you selling a newsletter? Or did you take that trade? So I heard this guy say that they were sending out newsletters in the old days to everybody. They'd send buy and sell recommendations, and whichever way the market went, they would just pull in these results. So I found that on BitChute. So I was on BitChute, and when I saw this guy with the moving average crossover system, it's okay to take the trade 5 bars back, put a 3 pip stop, and even you gotta love him to death. The guy that was a surgeon that became a trader. And he's like, oh yeah, the safe thing for a retail guy to do is put a break. Even Alexander Elder, when I took that class, you're going to put a stop in confirmation breakout. Okay, that's great for one ticket, but do one at the market. So you couldn't do that in commodities back then. If I only had $5 grand in my account, so if you're going to do it, you can only put on 2 corn trades, right? It's $500 a margin. You need $500 to trade one contract, 5,000 bushels of corn, which is trading like $2 a bushel, and it's barely moving. Like, it's moving $12.50 every time. Every tick is $12.50, and you're just watching on your screen going. And at that time, I'm watching it on a 286 and a 386 machine. And I thought, people are making money doing this. I just thought, what? I could do this. I'm not a fucking idiot. I can do it. Okay, we're just about waiting for the Dow Jones to open now, so maybe you get some drama here on this trade. So here in the nano micro trading accounts, and here, wow, you really do have to pile in. I can't just make one decision and go, yeah, give me 5 contracts of palladium. I remember when they sent me this thing one day, and they said the margin requirement now for palladium is now $53,000 for one contract, and I think before that was at 12,000. And they're like, so they increased the margins there in the exchanges and stuff. Here, forex, it's so funny because there's so much leverage and the market's so big that on the outskirts, even the retail people can make money, and actually more money percentage wise than a big house, because a big house cannot move on a dime. They can't just sit here and drop tickets. So this whole myth about, well, the big guys, no, the little guys always win. They just don't show up. So this Bitcoin thing is so funny, and I'm seeing people talk. They're talking about, oh, Davos, they're going to talk. They can't stop it. So obviously the fear has locked in, because when people have to make executive orders that are so draconian, we know that they're slipping. It's slipping out of their hands. Well, was it ever there, right? So you can say that there's a law for this, that, and the other thing, but if people just kind of numb to it, this is going to be a problem. It's funny, after Biden won, I walked into a store and I thought, I don't have to wear my mask, right? Like, I just thought, well, that was supposedly the deal, the first deal that was made, right? So forex is certainly a fair playground. We can see all the prices. We can see the history. We can see the vacuums. We can see all the drama that ever was and ever could be. If you imagine Bitcoin does go to 100,000. Are the gurus like ICT going to have to come back and apologize? Like, who cares? Like, that is such a giant move that you'd have to trade that trade so small to make. Are you trying to predict the future to take the praise for, look, I was right? Or are you going to trade this fucking move? Are you in that move at any degree that fucking matters? And that's what blows my mind about the no nonsense view, is that I'll build an algorithm to sift X out of the market. I guess so. But why wouldn't you just let a computer do that? I mean, the decision you're making is so fucking retarded. It's as bad as putting the trailing. I can run a computer that I could say, when the market's marching up, I go, you know what? It's a bull market. Let's break out the trailing sell stop entry system. And this thing's, every time it goes up, it sells more. Actually, it's a bigger sell stop that has never filled. It's a pure confirmation goober bot. That thing is going to make so much fucking money one day on when the market collapses and just starts to take out all that vacuum like a zipper. Boom. And at the very first part of that, because it's getting in heavier, there's a scale built into the top of that. So when it does sell, it's taken 20% off. It's already doubled the account, and now it can do no wrong, especially if you have a trailing goober stop bot to protect that equity, like most people do in these typical retail situations where they sell courses saying, okay, I'm going to manage that trade. You can't lose. I moved my stop to break even. Okay, but the effort that you put into that fucking entry were you staring at 20 monitors to make that one dumbass decision on that one day? Or are you just sitting back with a giant pile of limit grids, and yet you're looking at your watch like that guy from what is it? That movie, The Equalizer, and he's like, yeah, how long is it going to take to fill this shit? And then when it retraces and it comes back to the floor, and you're just trying to make those goddamn 20 or 40 pips, it doesn't matter whether that's the 40-year high. It's the same 20 pips. Well, you're right. You just do that trade. Okay, so we're waiting for stocks to open here. 13 minutes left. Thought I broke out my trusty clock. So yeah, it's a real learning curve here on this new shit. Had to turn off the constant nagging from fucking this nanny, Windows 10 nanny shit. Yeah, you sure you want to reload that program? Dude, I installed it. Yeah, I want to run it. And I turn off I had to give the computer's control back to me. So I'm so pissed off about these fucking computers trying to help me. It's like when you go in the store, can I help you? No, get the fuck. You're in my way. The thing I want is behind you. Get the fuck out of here. God, if you ask me, and then you go down. Why is it when I'm in the store, there's only 3 people in the store, and they're in the fucking aisle that I want to be in? So I was in there yesterday. Some ladies in the aisle. I'm like, are you just daydreaming? Can you get your shit and get the fuck out of this aisle? It's my aisle now, bitch. And get the fuck out of here. What are you stalking me? It's not even possible. I'm not that guy. I don't know. Maybe you're from the government. Okay, I'm going to buy a little bit more here. I don't see it going down. So this is the building a position at the market, and I know the risk here too. Yeah, I get slippage on the way. People talk about slippage. There's got to be slippage on each ticket now. I'm looking for this thing to go up. I took off this ticket. I thought it was a little too aggressive. I want to start selling in new high territories. So I'm going to come in with the 15s. 15 pip window. I'm going to put in these anything from risk 20 pips to make 16. Now this is going to be the scalp. This will pay for the, if we ever get up here, pay for the drama. Got to put in the 20 pips stop to make 40. This is the Dreamland trade where we have a W ratio, risk 12 to make 24 bucks. Same thing down here though. Here's a break even. 30 pips make 30 pips. In the euro, that is totally possible, and I'm just going to, I don't know if we'll make it down here today, but this is less risky of a trade because it's so deep in the market, right? If I do the same thing here, 8 hours down here, you really think, and do you really think we can make it down there in 8 hours? Okay, maybe we can make it down there in 20 hours. Like if we drip down and melt into this void, which you've already gotten this, if you got this scalp off this morning, I don't know if you did, but the market's down hard in 1 hour, you just buy. Okay, you simply buy, and you should have been filled on your limits in this. We took out the low of Friday. There were buyers there, okay? You can call that a 15-minute order block. You could look at this low here. You could draw it forward. That is a high probability bounce. All right, now it's tanking. I'm going to come in with 1 hour buys right at new lows. And I got that 40 pip stop, so I'm going to start losing. I'm in about 15K right now. I'd say about 15K. 14K, I'm waiting for this thing to come down. Maybe they're going to stop me out a little bit of stuff, right? So that's the problem with buying in the market. Oh, it's pulled back. And when stocks open, just before stocks open, we're probably going to crush this window. So since I got, I'm up about 11, I'm up 1,700 bucks in the account. So I'm going to go for it. I'm going to put in my buy new low strategy for 2 hours. And I'm going to set it, forget. I got to go back to my radio show I'm listening to. So I'm going to try to do a stop and restart on this video. So we walk through the day. 3 hours down here. I'm asking this to come down here in 3 hours. 20 pips stop to make 40. And this could be a total, the dollar could go up so hard right now. It doesn't matter fundamentally what's going on. They could be printing money faster than even a Dominion machine right now, and it wouldn't fucking matter. It just wouldn't matter. Because a lot of this shit's baked in the cake. And look at this top up here. If you're short from here, you could have made 30 pips this last night on the it's like a breakdown instead of a breakout. When you took out Asia, so you took out this floor you created in Asia, you could have done that trade and just be done. Here, I'm going to buy some more because I think we could come into here, into this window, and then I'd sell into that. But I don't know. And this is a demo account, so I don't care. So you gotta build this careless feeling of not caring. This is the skill set. Ugh. I rebooted my phone if I had to. I don't know. I hate to reboot it. Every time I reboot it, it comes up with an emergency warning. And really, I mean, I just got a phone. I haven't had a phone like this in, people have have a smartphone for 8 years. I'm going to buy some more here, the market. I'm going to go for the wide stop. 18 pip stop. So I like that last little stop hunt. You just see how they stab that down and kind of people like, oh my God, it's going to tank. So buy a little bit there. It does look like a rip-roaring move, but I don't, so when it gets to here, I have to make the decision. Do I just take I should be able to make about 20 bucks here. Get out. If I'm going to keep rinse and repeat the trade, let me delete all this shit. So in this, what's going on right now, the past it's ridiculous to talk about that. This was the last known kind of inflection point. We know there are all sorts of eager buyers down here, or people that are going to take profits on their shorts and here. So all these are the shelves. This is the big deal down here, right? So if I had some 12-hour scripts, which I don't have in this bank, I put them in there and go, you know what? I could put in, let's just try to make a couple pips down there. Let's try to make 16 pips by buying in this area. So I leave the arrows there so when I don't duplicate another. Now that's a pocket. That's going to be a huge scalp bank. That if they crash into that today, 8 hours, it'll be wow. Anything below here now. So I'm going to have to let this go. How much do I keep buying at the market too? So if I'm scaling in like this, it's not going to be as brutal as if I just imagine if I bought a standard lot right there thinking, yeah, well, hey, it's pulled back to the Fibonacci inside this 5 minute. There's probably a pattern in here or something. But no, it looks like they're going to take it down. So I'm in something though, because I'm only down $9. So this would be like, how much money do you consider to be painful to you? Down $10. Kind of tempted to buy at the market here. So here's where I would sit with my finger on the trigger. Coming in the stocks opening, we could rip it down. 5 minutes. Looks like stocks are going to open up. Stocks should be crashing. Fundamentally, you should be done. NASDAQ's done. It's all done. And it'll make the dollar go up. Because people are cashing out into dollars. Supply and demand there. So I'm looking for this thing to tank. But just in case, I am going to buy here. And this other one, which is my big risk to make $33.50 to make $2 here. Basically $4. This is the bad ratio market order. So this is going to be in the thing I'm going to post. You don't have to trade at the market, so you can close that down. You can close all this stuff down. And just trade in I guess the lowest risk is to trade for an hour in a 5 pip window with a really tight stop. So you'd be like this. 2 hours I'm going to buy here. And this would be the real contest. Can the market smash down here in 2 hours? And if so, then I really want to load the wagon down here. Because it makes it even less likely to be sustainable, just like these moves here. So I'm just basing it on past wickage. When you see that, you have to ask yourself, if I would have put an order bank here that only lasted 1 hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, I would have got picked up on that trade. It would have been amazing. So here's the moment of truth. Are we going to keep tanking? And also, if this is real money, I would go like this and it'd fix the scale, because I want to see the devil in the details is how many tickets I've really got in here at this level. So they're just right at the threshold here. And I think we could pop it below there. So I definitely want to pick up. Here I'm trying to make 14 pips. If it doesn't happen, and I would say get more aggressive down here. This is going to be a scalp. So I wrote a lot of scalp stuff here because I'd have to say half of this has to be a scalp with a bad ratio. Here's a 20 pip stop to make 10. 4 hours. Since I don't care, I really want this trade, I'm going to put them in here. I'm just going to go full retard because it's a demo account, and a lot of people do trade big. So I just picked up a few more tickets here on my market orders with the bad ratio. So we're right at the edge. Stocks are going to open up here. 2 minutes till stocks. And there should be quite a lot of volatility come in now. NASDAQ's out of its mind. So here's the 15-minute NASDAQ. Still poking into new highs, though. You know, you got to give it that. It's a real trooper. The Bitcoins have climaxed. I'd sell here. If I got long here, we've already filled this vacuum. So I don't have a big target on things. I'm not sitting in Bitcoin down here from 20 grand thinking, geez, I should have got out at $41,000. It only pulled back $10,000, and this was if you were up for it, if you could afford it, you would have bought here. And you'd buy because the simple fact that this is support. So after they trapped everybody at what they thought was a breakout, for those people that trade like that, for God's sakes, I mean, not everybody's that fucking retarded, okay? Okay, here comes the, what do we got? 30 seconds until the market's open. All right, so we survived that. It came very white knucklish down there. These look like bad trades. You kind of cringe a little bit when you're buying into it early to build something. But we got. Let me see what we filled here. Turn the comments on, and so let me see how many limits are filled. None. So there's another instance where we're too cheap. We're looking for that smack. We had to buy that at the market. Also, it's in the morning here. Okay, the stocks are open. Boom. So now it's a matter of how far do I let this go before I cash out, rinse, and repeat? And I'm going to say as soon as we go up to break even, my worst entry is here. I'm not showing any of the exits, so I have just the entries shown in black. Another thing on limits and just trading in general, I don't care about the stops or the take profits. I used to care, but now I know what I'm running. I'm running half bad ratios, half good ratios, and I got half a brain to know when to pull the trigger and to build a position at the market and maybe nano, micro. Now in a nano account, maybe you run a half a K, right? And you can run denser order packs, and if the spreads tighten up, not a lot of nano stuff out there. And the pound is like trading like 3K on the euro. It seems to be. So I just turn off these stop levels. There's no color. I got black for the volume, which is your entry price. I got my finger on the trigger to close profits. If I'm in really big right now, it's going to be different. I'm going to sit here and say, you know what, as soon as we get to here, I'll let this one ride as a bad trade. So that was half hour. Here's 9:30. Boom. We turn on a dime. I got my finger on the cash out ticket. I just want to get out. I want to make $30 and go back to sleep. Or go watch the news, actually. That's going to be my trade here. And we hopefully, when we start shaving off these candles, I want to get out because I know people are going to start selling there. And it is going to matter how much money that you are okay. And I wouldn't feel like, oh gosh, you know, if this was one ticket, I would feel like, gosh, I should have rode that trade. I don't think like that now because now I'd just be like, okay, I even right now, I'm ready to go like this. Let's start selling up here, right? Why wouldn't we, right? So this is taking me a while to get to the point to accept that that's just as good a place to sell now. Why be so partisan, right? I know I'm long, but somebody said to me, why don't you buy and sell? I said, yeah, well, I guess I can with this system because I can say, you know what, for 3 hours, this is a great sell up here. And just keep dropping this all day long. You know, different prices, fix the scale on this so we can see all the different prices. the market depth. Now this is the where I guess I agree with the level 2 guys. Here's my level 2 trading. We can go max zoom in is like this. I think it's like 1 pip. Well, here's the spread. I kind of gotta really maneuver this, but so MetaTrader lets you see the market like this, which is kind of like difficult if you're looking at that landscape chart. Like there's no narrative here. It's just literally like, where's the context for price? Especially if you go to the daily. Interesting. If you go to the 4-hour though, you see we've been down hard for 4 hours. The 4-hour world is a whole different world, right? And here you can think like a swing trader. Oh shit, I thought that was going to be a different key. Okay. Now you can see how if they rip it down there, how that typically goes. And just how dense, how much risk really have on the table there. For 8 hours, I will buy this 40 pip window. I'm a little bit long now. I was just trying to scalp it. Looks like I might get crushed now. So we could turn on a dime right now. This bottom become a top right at quarter to, and we can just crash now. Right? So we never see that scalp you're waiting for. That scenario you're waiting for may never happen. Okay, so I'm going to let that go. I'm in probably 20K, down $6. I'm going to hit pause here and come back. I go listen to the latest. When people said that Trump was a clown, no. He can't compare to this guy because this guy is a truly, he's like that old bus driver that kind of knows the route. You know, where Trump's like, you want me to take you somewhere? Where do you want to go? This guy's like, this is the route we take. This is what happens. Deal with it. You know, welcome to Puttsville. He just putts around.